It's home to one of New England's most stunning spots, famous for what's there and what's gone. But the old man is being seen again.
Well, it's pretty impressive.
What else is new here? Well, the state's longest bike trail for one, as well as a pretty unique library alongside it.
So it's literally like checking a book out of a library.
Yep. Some of the familiar haunts are as tried and true as ever.
Half stack of blueberries from the Hampshire maple at Polly's. Doesn't get any better.
And speaking of haunts,
is it haunted?
There are lots of stories.
it's a special place full of stories, the main streets and back roads of Grafton County, New Hampshire. Next on Chronicle.
This is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
In size, it's New Hampshire's second largest county. Its location, straddling the center of the state, makes it feel like the true heart of things in more than just geography.
It's rare that a single county defines an entire state, but Grafton County does, and why wouldn't it? Some of New Hampshire's most famous towns are here. Littleton and Lincoln, Hanover and Bethlehem, Woodstock and Waterville Valley, not to mention arguably the most iconic and legendary location in the entire state, Franconia Notch.
So what makes the Notch so special, in addition to spectacular natural beauty, forests, wildlife, scenery, trails, there's a really storied cultural history here.
Dave Anderson is Education Director for the Society for the Preservation of New Hampshire Forests, a vital nonprofit which has long played a pivotal role in saving some of New Hampshire's loveliest green spaces.
Forest Society was founded in 1901 to protect the entire White Mountains and built a coalition that passed federal legislation to create all the eastern national forests.
But it is the glittering green jewel of Franconia Notch that still stands as the Forest Society's greatest success. On August 2nd, 1923, the famed Profile House Grand Hotel burned down. Where a Cannon Mountain parking area stands today, the hotel owner stood amidst the smoke and smelled a lot of money.
So
Yes,
all around here,
big chunk.
owned by the hotel,
Right,
and now he wants to sell it
he's gonna sell it. Yep.
to the highest bidder.
To the highest bidder. And there were forestry logger interests that were looking and sniffing around in here because there was some significant timber resources. And the Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forest launched a campaign to buy the Notch for the people.
And they did. Working with the state legislature, a coalition was able to buy up the land, saving the Notch.
It was a campaign that went nationwide. It went viral in newspapers, and it was Keep Faith with the Old Man. So the old man was the symbol of New Hampshire. It's on our license plates, it's on our highway signs. And so people knew about the old man. And so now the old man himself, his home in Franconia Notch was threatened, and people responded to answer the call.
That saved Franconia Notch.
Absolutely.
Much as we don't want to imagine it, what might the Notch have looked like had it been sold for development?
Gas stations, restaurants, lodging, theme parks, but that very well could have been the fate of the floor of Franconia Notch. And today it's a 6,600 acre state park.
Since 1938, the roof of the park, 4,080-foot Cannon Mountain, has been accessed by North America's first passenger aerial tramway, where the views are expansive and, aside from Interstate 93, remarkably unspoiled.
State parks surrounded by national forests. One of the big draws of Cannon is its place in the natural environment.
For sure, the rugged, pristine landscape is part of Cannon's core identity, but interim general manager Greg Keeler knows well the mountain's unique place in New England ski history.
Cannon is steeped in history, for sure, pun intended. Cannon was the site of the first ski racing trail in North America. Taft Slalom Trail was cut before there were any lifts, and that was between 1932 and 33, and that kind of spurred the development of the aerial tramway.
At the base of the tramway today, one of those early tram cars sits outside the New England Ski Museum, where since 1982, a trip through New England ski history is still fascinating and still free.
Our tagline is preserving the future of skiing's past. We've established that it's the largest, most comprehensive archive of winter sports related things outside of Europe.
Seeing a model of skis I used to ski on now in a museum definitely made me feel like part of skiing's past. At least some of this stuff was before my time.
Tim, ski wear changed a wee bit.
A little bit. I don't know if I would wear this now going out.
The amazing thing, whether you're looking at this, whether you're looking at a 10th Mountain Division uniform, there was basically zero warmth. And it was just as cold then.
Yeah, it might have been colder. And, you know, we're in Franconia, we're at Cannon, where it's windy.
It sure can be, but at the end of this day, all was a brilliant blue and green and gathering gold all across the big mountain and the historic notch that defines a state and continues to defy change.
And we heard how the Forest Society played this important role in saving Franconia Notch from development, but there are many other reasons why that area remains beautifully and largely unchanged.
Yeah, and all those efforts a century ago helped create Franconia Notch State Park, and it is also known as the flagship of New Hampshire parks, preserving 6,500 acres for a green future.
It is beautiful up there. Coming up, we have pancakes that are worth the drive.